Liberty fans, what is up, y'all? What is up? Hope all is well. Let me know if y'all hear me loud and clear. Let me know if I'm too loud. We out here. What is up, Liberty fans? Tapping in. It's your boy Kenny, aka Rem. 79-73. The season is officially over for New York, but at the end of the day, we're still gonna clap it up. Still gonna clap it up for the ladies and all that they have been able to do. Not just this season, but throughout these last couple years, throughout these years since coming to Brooklyn, delivering a championship to this team last year, and fighting through the ups and downs, all through the highs and lows of this season, the ebbs and flows of this season, as we all call it. They fought. I want to start off by expressing gratitude for the Liberty. This is my third year covering, but my second year officially covering as a credentialed media reporter, and I'm super grateful for this opportunity and everything that everything that has grown from it. Super grateful for the opportunity to connect with Liberty fans. Super grateful just for the opportunity to connect with other media, the collaboration. Shout out to you, Gabe, for linking up on these post games and all of the stuff that we've been able to do. I also want to shout out Liberty fans for everything that they've been able to do and accomplish. Not just rooting the team off the court as well. I've seen a lot of Liberty fans doing a lot of things within the community. Shout out Gabe Stark with the Herzies. Shout out Lori Moran with what she's doing courtside with the outfits and everything like that. There's so much people that I can, shout out. Obviously not going to go through all of the list of the names, but everybody has been doing something this season and been making the best of it. Last night was an unfortunate situation. It was the end of our season. And when you look at everything in a whole, it was tough. It was a roller coaster of a season. After a 9-0 start, a couple of injuries, never really having a fully healthy roster, the New York Liberty still kept going and never stopped pushing through. Now, to the fans, because there's a lot of discourse on Twitter, on X, or whatever you want to call it. There's a lot of discourse going on. I want to kind of encourage you guys to keep that same energy when we were winning. There's a lot of, back and forth. There's a lot of naysayers. There's a lot of finger pointing that has been extremely disappointing to watch. A lot of finger pointing that has been extremely disappointing to watch, as if they're not out there giving their all. And they definitely gave their all. Last night, we got our asses kicked. A couple of times this season by the Phoenix Mercury. And when you look at it, Phoenix Mercury really set themselves up because they knew and believed that they could beat the Liberty, and that's exactly how they set this playoff matchup up. And I can't tell you how proud I am of Brianna Stewart, Sabrina Ionescu, and the rest of the players. I know a lot of people have been critical of Jonquel Jones, especially Jonquel Jones, our finals MVP from last year. There's been a lot of talk online, and I just want to say this is not on the players, guys. This is not on the players. The effort that they put up, this is not on the players. I'm going to repeat that again. This is not on the players. And when I say that, I'm not coming for anybody's job. I'm not asking for anybody to be traded, not asking for anybody to be released, not asking for anybody to be fired. But accountability needs to be held on all sides. Accountability needs to be held. And I'm going to start with coaching. Because accountability needs to be held with coaching. Coach Sandy Brondello came in this season with this 5-out offense that we've played a little bit last year. But she came in 10 toes down on this 5-out offense. And it's innovative. It's cool. It's awesome. But I also just want you to know that a 5-out offense, for those of you in the back who don't understand, 5-out offense means 5 out. That means all 5 players out on the perimeter. So when you have a 6'6" dominant body like Jonquel Jones, and you choose to deliberately keep her on the top of the key as if she's Karl Anthony Towns, And speaking of Karl Anthony Towns, it felt as if I was watching Tibbs all over again. The just the stubbornness and the just riding and grinding your players for all of that time. Again, I just want you guys to know this is not on the players. This is not on the players at all. This is not on the players. Jonquel Jones is a 6'6" dominant force. Ladies and gentlemen, please remind me of the New York Liberty record when Jonquel Jones, I apologize for the poor connection. I apologize but I need you guys to remind me what the New York Liberty record is when Jonquel Jones records a double-double. The New York Liberty this entire playoffs have been unintentional at getting Jonquel Jones involved. And this is why I put all of this on Coach Sandy Brondello. I put this all on Coach Sandy Brondello, and that's not me coming for Sandy Brondello's job. I'm not saying to fire Sandy the way that I was telling the Knicks to move on from Tibbs, because Sandy still has an opportunity. She still has a chance. You go to Barclays Center, you look up in the rafters, we got one. We got one, okay? We got our very first one, and I'm not going to turn my back on Sandy Brondello right away, but what I will tell you, this is on Coach Sandy Brondello's and her lack of playing that bench, and also the way that you use your finals MVP in Jonquel Jones. You cannot do that. You cannot have a 6'6" force who is a walking double-double and have her on the top of the key as if she wears number 35, but she is not Kevin Durant. She shoots the ball well, but she took 5 threes yesterday. 5 threes. The 5-out offense is great. It's awesome. It's awesome. I love it. I love innovation, but we cannot rely on the 5-out. Ask Indiana. Indiana Pacers made it to the finals with the 5-out, but they got tossed too. You're not going to win. You're not going to win if you have a force like JJ camping out on the three-point line. It just doesn't work like that. It can't work like that. It absolutely cannot work. So I was completely frustrated to see online all of the discourse surrounding Jonquel Jones' name, the disrespect to Jonquel. I thought it was really uncalled for, something that is, especially as fans, an MVP, you can go back to last year and look at the tapes. Look at how Jonquel Jones was utilized. And I'm somebody who comes with the mindset, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It wasn't broken. And then Sandy decides to go with this innovation and for what? For if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You have Jonquel Jones, a 6'6" force, and you didn't use her like that. Jonquel Jones had 13 rebounds, respectively, in game 1 and 2. Game 2, she needed a couple more points. We were a couple of points away from a double-double. We have to do better. I got my guy, Doug Bearak. I'm going to tap in with Doug real quick. Look, Doug Bearak is one of the loudest Liberty fans. One of the best Liberty fans that I've been able to come interact with. And here's my guy Doug right now. Doug, what's up, man? How you feeling?
I mean, disappointing, but it's Liberty effing Liberty till we die.
One second, Doug. I'm sorry, I had to disconnect my microphone, my boom mic. I hope
No,
that
you're
didn't
right.
mess with the audio too much. But
I
Doug,
love
top of the
reverb.
morning to you.
Yeah, it's an outside taking in the sun because that's all we need right now.
That's
Some
all we need,
sunshine on
man.
it. It's all we got. All we need. Good vibes.
Absolutely, man. So, Doug, talk to me, man. How you feeling, especially after yesterday? And what's your thoughts? What's your thought process like? Because, like I said, I see a lot of discourse going on, and I know you're one of the people who will never turn your back on this team, no matter what. So, I want to hear it from you. Let's talk about it.
I feel like it's bleeding karmic vibes from last year. Raising the prices when they did right before the playoffs. I'll still be bitter about it. So we got the chip. So I feel like they kind of bled into it. Like it's not about the evaluation of the tickets; it's about the percentage of it going up. And then why break something that's not broken when it comes to the offense 5-out? Like don't play with JJ on the floor. Don't play with JJ on the floor. Also, the pacing. It's compact league. Kathy did not do a good job spacing out. It's okay if things bleed into other seasons and other sports because the pacing of the league, it's kind of like the NBA season. So many players got injured because the pace is getting quicker and quicker and quicker. So it's hard to play offense, defense, such a compact period of time. The conditioning, like Stewie didn't get a rest and rivaled, ate into things. Um, so like Leo didn't get any rest. So there's no real like breakdown of time. So their bodies aren't conditioned. JJ's definitely not conditioned to do the running. Obviously being consistent
Yeah.
injured. Like you gotta have some empathy for that. But I do believe Sandy did not trust the bench. She was like Tibbs, like I actually said that.
Very much like Tibbs. Very much. I was watching a
Like
Tibbs brand of coaching.
I mean, think about how long it took for Leo to get run last year. It took injuries. And then she became one of our most valued pieces. So like that is a Tibbs moment right there. And like staying with the offense that like some of these players are not 3-point shooters. They're middies. They're drivers, and we're having them just shoot
Yep.
threes. And then rebounding was our thing. That's why we won last year. And also the pacing that led to turnovers. So like we're basically it's like you
100%.
wear your it's like wearing your Air Force Ones too long. You're that bottom's gonna you know tear out.
They're gonna get cooked. It's gonna get cooked. All right. They're gonna give out a little bit. It's gonna get cooked. And
Yeah,
again with the 5-out, with this 5-out offense, again, like I said, I get being innovative, but you cannot have a Jonquel Jones kind of force and have her on the top of the key for the entire game. Again, I want fans to understand that the 5-out offense is what is being run. Jonquel Jones is not intentionally going to the top of the key. Jonquel Jones is being told to take more 3-point shots. At the pre-game presser, Coach Brondello was asked about JJ's involvement, and her answer to that was getting JJ more threes. And I thought that was crazy going into the pregame. So that kind of put me in a place of what's going on here? What's going on here? Because you'll never see Becky Hammond put Asia Wilson at the top of the key and keep her there. Jonquel Jones is somebody who's a phenomenal passer as well. Someone Natasha Cloud compared to Nikola Jokic at the very start of the season when we were on that
she
stretch.
definitely is a good
And
passer, post passer.
amazing passer in the post, and the way that she was utilized was it was tough. It was tough to watch. But what do you say to those Liberty fans, who are kind of the Fairweather Liberty fans who are kind of, jumping in and out, going crazy online? They're talking crazy online about JJ, talking crazy about KB. But in all actuality, I feel like people are pointing fingers at JJ and KB. Leo had a pretty shitty series. Natasha Cloud wasn't great these last two games. The team as a collective wasn't great. And I kind of want to pull back to Satu and Kai's comments the other day about Barclays Center. I'll share my comments about that. But Doug, how do you feel? Take full accountability. I want you to
So
be honest with me. How do you feel about how Liberty fans came for game
that
two?
that did not feel like the usual Barclays Center. Like I saw way too many empty seats. Maybe it's an 8 p.m. game, but like also the one thing I still have issues with how the Liberty have been running the playoffs is like it's way too many rally towels. We don't do the shirts. We don't do the combos. We at least did the LEDs. But like outside of the art decals on the arena, it doesn't feel like on the concourse much of like any action. No drum lines, no energy. It doesn't feel extra, but there were a lot more empty seats than I was expecting. The crowd started off strong, but obviously I get it. The effort, players, but like it goes both ways. I'm
It
still
goes
under
with
the belief that we helped win the championship last year. Like that's how I am as a fan. We
yeah.
contributed to that, so like it didn't feel the same as much. Like there's some diehard fans like the mayor D, who honestly I should call her Prez. She's not down there dancing with Ellie. Like the vibes felt a little bit different. Um, so I don't know.
It definitely felt different. It definitely felt different. And I'm gonna I won't sugarcoat. You were real professional about it. I'm gonna be 100% real. Liberty fans, we were ass on game two. We were absolutely ass. We were ass. That there's no other way to put it. The same way fans were talking about the play of JJ KB shooting and everything. We were the same. We were the same. And I get it. I get it. I don't want to hear the crowd was lit until no. It's the playoffs. It is our only game on the home floor. I was outside. You know what I do outside. You know what I do with the camera. I can't even put up the footage because it was so embarrassing. It was so embarrassing to walk through outside of the arena and have to tell fans to get hyped for game two, the only game on our home floor in round one. That was embarrassing. There weren't a lot of fans outside. There wasn't a lot of interaction. I saw DJ Ty Michelle on the ones and twos doing her thing. Not a body in front of her. Nothing. There was nothing. It was almost as if we had to tell Liberty fans, to get hyped and get ready. And all of the discourse I'm seeing with what Ka said and what Satu said. Satu, it felt like a slap in the face because obviously she like we adopted Satu. We adopted Satu,
I mean,
especially
she got
when
to
she
go on the
was
parade
with
with
us.
us.
She was on the float. You was parading with us, and to say some of the things you said, but at the end of the day, there was truth in it. There were Liberty fans that literally walked out of the building as they were losing. And any other teams, any other fan base, especially knowing the magnitude of this, would have 26 or not, you got to rally behind your girls, stand up and give them that confidence as they are walking out of the arena. I wasn't a fan of that. I know some people had work and other stuff, but I know, Courtney. I know they weren't giving you enough to cheer about, but we still have an obligation as fans to stay 10 toes down,
Hey, we
no
pay a
matter
lot for these
what.
tickets. We got to get
No
our
matter
money's
what, you
worth.
pay a lot for them. You pay a lot for them, Doug, and it's crazy. So, with what's going on with these ticket prices, these ticket surges, will we still be seeing Doug in the building next season? Let's
Yeah, no,
talk
I
about that.
renewed.
What
I
are
was
you
a
doing?
little. I'm still upset over like on principle, but like it's still a good evaluation in spite of 31.2% or 31.5% increase. So I'll still be in section three. I moved down 2 rows just because I couldn't stay in my row because it was like a pair of tickets. So my friend Marsha and I, we split because she wanted full court view and I like being near the bench and like being down low because that's where I start the arena chants from, and it works. Like
Yeah.
I do miss my original seats of VIP 24, but like I know I couldn't afford that much longer. Still upset that they priced me out before the playoffs because man, they took away my confetti. I wanted to be buried in it.
Look,
But nah,
Doug. So
I'm
do
I'm gonna run it. I'm gonna run it back from there, and we'll see. If I get more money in a job, I'll keep staying. But otherwise, I might have to consider going
I
back
love
after
that.
next year. But I still want to bring my dog in.
That's dope. That's dope. Look, Nelly, we love you too over here, Nelly. I know you're everybody's dog. I know you're Doug's, but you're everybody's dog. We love you. But look, so do you believe the Liberty's timing on the ticket prices and everything? Do you think this had a lot to do with how things went game two?
You mean like the type of crowd?
Yeah.
It felt it, yeah. But like, I get it from a business standpoint, but from a fan standpoint, it's like not the best. Um, like even last year, like it's getting earlier and earlier, and I know like it's hard to wait to the CBA. Like that's not a thing because I definitely think that's looming and how that's really going to impact. Um, but like I do feel they could have made it a little bit more playoffy. Like I said, like the plaza, I felt like was underused. Like go balloons, go drum lines, go
Yeah.
lib kids. Like I know it's school night, but there's
Look,
could have been a lot more vibes out on the
My,
course.
my daughter was up late last night. I know it's not a school night. My daughter was up late. We were about to get ready for soccer soon, but she was up late watching the game, cheering on JJ and Kennedy. Her name is Kennedy as well. So it's like she was up cheering on the squad, and it was unfortunate to see how it all turned out. But look, I I think we're in for something like we're in for something crazy because we don't know what's going to happen. October 30th, we look like we're probably in line for a lockout. So not
Yeah,
knowing
this was
when
like
we
a
are
do or
going
die
to see
season. This
these
was the
ladies,
last.
like
This felt like the last run it back season because we don't know what's going to happen to the CBA with the expansion teams. Like, I mean, makes you
it's
wonder
tough.
what would have happened if we could have somehow kept KT and switched it up with keeping players.
And I'm glad that you because it brings me to my next point of the magnitude of how important players like Kayla Thornton, players like Courtney Vandersloot, um, super important. The intangibles of those players, we needed that. We definitely needed something like that because especially when the stars don't have it going, those role players always do something special to take the team to the next level. They've all had big games, and that's what we kind of needed this season. Going back to Coach Sandy Brondello, guys, if you're just joining this live, just letting you guys know, we are not here pointing fingers at players or anybody. We are here talk. I'm here talking about the fact that this is all on coaching. This is all on coaching, and me saying this is all on coaching. I am not saying fire Sandy Brondello. I'm not saying to fire anybody who has raised the rafters, raised a banner in the rafters in this building. We definitely need continuity. We need Coach Sandy Brondello, but Sandy Brondello has a lot to do with the continuity being diminished this season. The offseason acquisitions, the Stephanie Talbot move, and this is not a shot at Stephanie Talbot. Stephanie Talbot did not belong on this roster, in my humble opinion. She didn't belong. I know there's familiarity, but she should have fought for her roster spot in training camp. If it wasn't this one, there was next season training camp for you to do that. Emma Mieseman, I love the Emma Mieseman addition. No arguments, hand downs. But when you get rid of the continuity on this team, you get rid of a Jalen Sherrod. I know she didn't see a lot of minutes. When you also don't play your bench, when you take a Tom Thibodeau approach to basketball, and then go on and play a 5-out offense. Guys, we are talking about all 5 of your players on the perimeter while you have a 6'6" force in Jonquel Jones. You have Emma Mieseman, who are phenomenal in the post, but also phenomenal passers. And we went away from that. The New York Liberty are, I believe, 32 or 33-0 when Jonquel Jones records a double-double. They did nothing to intentionally involve JJ. So that's where I'm going to leave that at, in case anybody was wondering. Doug, what do you got going on for the rest of the day? I feel like we need to do a Liberty fan link up during this off season, just to get things going. Because honestly, the playoffs ain't even sexy no more. I don't care about the Phoenix Suns versus the Minnesota Lynx, or the Aces versus Fever. And I'm sitting here in my mind and I'm thinking, like, who do I want to win the title? And all of them are ops to me. I don't care about the Fever fan base. I don't care about the Indiana Fever enough. We obviously are rivals with the Minnesota Lynx and Las Vegas Aces. And then the Phoenix Mercury just kind of kicked our ass. Who do we root for right now? Who are we rooting for right now, guys?
The enemy of my enemy is my friend. I'm going Aces. You know, Asia's dominance to bring back that whole season. Like everyone's like, how that went. Like it's a good story. Like even though they shit talked us like bad after they beat us at home, and that really bothered me. Like when we won, we didn't shit talk the Lynx. We didn't shit talk anyone. We talked about ourselves, talked about the fans.
Yeah,
When it came to like the Lynx, they're gonna talk the most shit and then make it about us.
absolutely. They've been talking about us all
Phoenix probably
season.
gonna make it about us too. So like I don't know if the Aces make it about us. Obviously, I don't want the Fever to win because one, I don't know how they would get further than they've already been. Um, like their fans make me don't want to root for them more than the players. To be clear, like
Yeah.
I love Taj. You know, she was one of my favorites when she was on the Libs. Like I wish we could have kept her somehow. She definitely would
Oh
have
yeah,
been able
yeah.
to fit with this kind of team. But yeah, you know, in spite of all like what happened, the super team era, like I'm going with the Aces.
You're going with the Aces. All right, so you're going with the rivals. I get it. I get it. So I'm a huge Asia Wilson fan. Looking forward to her bringing in her 4th finals, not only finals MVP, her 4th regular season MVP.
Unless we get another co.
Someone in the chat said they're sticking with Phoenix because it makes it less painful. Losing to the eventual champions. But realistically, I don't see Phoenix as champions. I don't see them beating the Lynx or the Aces. So, Doug, I think I'm gonna roll with you on this one. I think I'm gonna roll with you on this one. And for those, I know you didn't ask, but in the midseason, they were by game 4 in their winning streak. I took the Aces. I took the Aces to win it all. They were plus 2,200 at the time, and they go on and go on this 15-17 game winning streak. So seeing the Aces win it again, not a bad idea. Not bad for them. Whoever wins it, I'm not going to be happy for you guys. If there was a way that could all just go to a tie, that would be awesome. But it's all good. It's all good. I think seeing the Phoenix look, if everything goes as it's been going for the last 3 years, the finals will be Minnesota Lynx and the Indiana Fever. It's all of the Commissioner Cup teams that have been at the Commissioner's Cup for the last 3 or 4 years eventually made it to the finals. The winner of the Commissioner's Cup did not win the WNBA finals. That's what's been going on for the last 3 years, I believe. So I don't want that to happen. I'm telling you
Which is
now, I
why
don't
it
want to
feels
see
like
the
the Lynx
Fever
are
in the
going to win
finals.
because of that.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But we're hoping for the Aces, man. I'm riding with you on the Aces. This has definitely been a tough season. What's your highlight for this season? Before we go, before I get off with you? What's your highlight for this season? Because I have some more to talk about. We gonna
Well,
keep
right
talking
before
about
the
this fight
highlight,
about.
the last thing I want to say about the series and it's just the refs. They were way physical. Like I know we already had like grueling season, but man, Sabrina got trucked. I've never seen that. Like not even just
The
18 and all that. Sabrina was getting trucked. Like
the
that in
physicality was
itself.
inconsistent.
Yeah, no, and like we could barely get ticky tackies. We had to. It was I don't know how to describe it, but
You have to play through the whistle. I watched Atlanta they lost their series because they didn't play through the whistle. That game 2 against the Fever, it was just complaints day in and day out. They were just complaining the entire game and essentially got themselves out the game. And I feel like that happened to JJ a little bit. I think JJ was not only frustrated with the way that the refs were calling the game, but also with the way that she was being used. And I completely
I'm
feel her
sure.
frustration. I understand when she slammed the ball. Like, it's okay to show those emotions. So I don't, want anybody to
I felt
kind
like that was appropriate for the playoffs. Like I felt like that was soft by the refs. I mean, I didn't see it as
of
well on
appropriate.
TV at the bar, but like I didn't think it was that much. I didn't realize how upset she was. I thought it was more of like the fiery passion of a competitor. So I
Yeah,
guess the refs
most
and I
definitely.
don't see eye to eye, and their free LASIK is still available. I'll always yell that at games. I've been yelling that before LASIK started tweeting that out. Um, it's my little fun thing. But yeah, uh, that's the thing. Like we drove to the paint, but we didn't get rewarded. So we went back to threes that weren't falling. Like that was Sabrina's worst career season from deep. So,
Yeah.
um, I hope she gets the rest she needs. I know her trophy husband's going to do her right, and they're going to get back. She's going to be better than ever. But that I
Oh yeah.
believe.
Oh, gonna be better than that. And another thing, she didn't complain about this at all, but Sabrina Ionescu was not healthy. Sabrina Ionescu was not healthy. You can you
I don't think anyone
Sabrina's
was.
not healthy.
I don't think any of her stars were.
She was a lot of people were not healthy. Were not healthy, but Sabrina was not good since she's come back from that toe injury. And she just seemed off, but she'll never make an excuse. But Brianna Stewart, like we have to talk about Brianna Stewart.
My
Brianna Stewart. I
God,
know a lot of people are talking about she did it on one leg. Brianna Stewart
she
did it
did
on
what
no
James
legs.
Harden couldn't do for the Nets, if you know what I mean.
She did it on no legs. No legs, Doug. No legs, because I know she had her injury. That was her left knee. She injured her right knee earlier in the season. And like she's like walking on threads and neat. Like, how do you have that kind of performance? 30 points, 9 rebounds. That was an epic MVP performance by Brianna Stewart. She really didn't want to go home. I was shocked. Something that I said after game 2 is I thought Brianna Stewart hurt the team game 2 being out there, but I know she's such a competitor. What she did game 3, like, that can't be swept under the rug. That was a definitive answer. Like, yo, if anybody was talking crazy and thought that I wasn't the best player on this team, have it. Like we all know, like JJ's great, Sab is great, Emma's great. They have a bunch of great players on this team, but Brianna Stewart is the best player on the New York Liberty, hands down, no questions. I don't even want to see a debate on it. For the next couple of years, Stewie knows what to do on both sides of the ball, and I think we take that for granted sometimes. So, can we just big up Stewie real quick for what she did? Like
Oh
that,
yeah,
that was
I was
that
gonna
was
ask
amazing.
you. I know this is too far down the line, but and I don't know what the qualifications are, but what about statues? Like I'm already know she's getting her jersey retired, but what about statues? I want to say, it looks like they made the right choice. Shrug. That might be a
Oh
good
yeah.
statue.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. 100% made the right choice. And when it's all said and done, Stewie's gonna leave New York, and she will most likely be blessed with a statue. She should have been blessed with a statue in Seattle, but Seattle, they're still butthurt with losing her, and
They might do it
they've
down the
been.
line when she
Yeah,
retires.
when they figure it out, when they realize how horrible they've been as an organization to her, they'll figure it out. But Stewie, she a Hall of Famer. She's a Hall of Famer right now. She's an active Hall of Famer. Like you just look at her resume. But what she did last night, on one or no legs was impeccable. I can't. There's no other way to
No,
describe
it's
it.
it's
She's
extremely impressive. Like I'm definitely in the minority to say like I kind of wish she didn't play in Unrivaled because she needed that time to rest because you could tell how unhealthy she was from the finals. But it's her, it's her baby. Like I get it, but from like a Liberty fan perspective, she definitely could be full off season. If you know what
oh
I mean.
yeah, yeah, most definitely.
A
I
lot of
I
players
don't
need
know
their
if
full off season.
Yeah, I doubt she'll play in Unrivaled this year. I don't know if that's going to happen. But
I'm like a competitor.
again, like phenomenal performance by Brianna Stewart. Again, this season ends, and we don't get to, it sucks that we only got one game at our lovely Barclays Center. We only got to see Ellie once. We only got to see Thomas Tor. We didn't get to do our Ellie wave with the lead. It really sucks. Like I feel like we've been stripped away of so much. But again, we are not putting this on the players. The players did everything that they needed to do. They did everything that they were asked to do in the positions that they were put in. So again, we appreciate everything that the Liberty have done. And not just on the court, off the court as well.
Oh,
There's a
absolutely.
lot that there's a lot that needs to be done in this offseason, and it sucks that this is an expansion year. So we're going to lose some more players. The roster never looks the same. But it truly sucks. It truly sucks. Um,
I'm happy
Courtney
that we
said,
got one though. So
"Oh yeah, yeah, we got one. We got one, and that's all that matters. We got one. The banner still hangs. You see the banner back there. I hope you guys still have your banner. If you ordered your ring like Doug did, keep wearing your ring and keep supporting because at the end of the day, this is still the best team in New York City, the team that delivered basketball championship in the mecca of basketball. So we're going to continue to clap it up for the Liberty and let them know through the ebbs and flows, the roller coaster of a season, they did everything that they could. They could have done more on the coaching perspective, but hey, that's the cards that were dealt to us this season. But Doug,
yeah,
I appreciate you for taking the time, to hop on the live with me.
so
Um, and we'll talk some more about this off season because, like I said, I don't think we should just call it over. Like we still have to do link ups this season. We still have to do some fan link ups this off
you can
season
join me and
and
watch my
talk
Nets
about
suck.
everything that's going on. Yeah, and I know you're getting ready for your next season too. All right, so look, you're not gonna see great basketball most
No,
likely, and
at least my expectations will be where they need to be. I'm realistic.
absolutely.
I got my Jets. I already know where they're at. I know my Nets. I'm gonna hard launch with the Rangers. We got a lot going on. I'm gonna stay busy.
We're
But
gonna stay busy, man.
to
Hey,
answer the last thing is Nelly got her jersey from the same person who created Ellie's jersey, the Thomas Torches, Long
oh,
Island
that's Gabe Stark.
Nets.
Gabe
Yeah,
Stark.
Starkey.
So Kennedy, I'm going to send you the link to Gabe Stark's page. And I'll send that to you after this live. I'm gonna keep going a little bit more, but I'm gonna send you this live, just so that you can get your dog a jersey.
Yeah,
This is super
Ellie was
dope, man.
actually the OG. I randomly DM'd him like, "You ever think about doing dogs?" And went from there. And now, you know, the
Nice.
Furzies.
The
Um,
Furzies, the fur.
every
Those are
dog.
good. That's dope.
Hey, well, to finish my day, if I'm feeling not too tired out, I'll probably walk Nelly down to Brooklyn Promenade, take her to one of the biggest dog parks at Hillside, get some
All right,
running.
nice. Make sure Nelly's wearing the Furzy, please. Make sure Nelly is wearing the Furzy so they know no matter what, we are still repping the best team in NYC, the New York Liberty, the 2024 WNBA champions. And it's not done yet. We still got a lot to do, guys. We still got a lot to do. Again, Doug, my boy, appreciate you for
Hey, we
joining
all we
me.
got.
We all we need. You already know.
Peace, brother.
Peace, man. Guys, again, I just want to say thank you. I just want to say thank you to everybody who's tapping in, who joined the live. Um, if you want to talk a little, we could definitely chop it up. We could talk a little bit. We could discuss what is going on. But again, we all we got, we all we need. I want you guys to remember that. Remember that. And last night, again, we are going to talk about all the discourse. I know a lot of us are going through different emotions to see our team, lose, and it sucks. It sucks. It sucks. You're not going to win them all. Basketball is a make or miss league, and some of the shots that we missed a lot of the shots. But again, basketball should be played inside out, not outside in. I remember being coached in high school, coming into the game one time, and my first shot of the game was a three-pointer. Went in and out, in and out. I know I could hit it. I know I could shoot the ball. But my coach pulls me to the side and is like, yo, you just get into the game and your first shot was a three. Like, we know what the deal is. We always start inside out. And that's how Jonquel Jones should be used. Jonquel Jones should not be on the top of the key on the perimeter as a start out. Jonquel Jones, we shouldn't be asking Jonquel Jones to shoot 5 3-pointers, guys. That is not Jonquel Jones' fault. I want you guys to understand that is not Jonquel Jones' fault. Again, KB, she missed some shots. She had 8 points yesterday. She did everything she could on the defensive end. It wasn't there on the offensive end, but we don't just give up on our players. Because at the end of the day, only 2 players had decent games yesterday. Honestly, one player had a really, really good game yesterday in Breanna Stewart. Breanna Stewart scored all 14 points for the New York Liberty in the fourth quarter. As the coach is going, and you have 2 pieces in school, Jonquel Jones and whoever else you have out there on the floor, and no involvement, is that Breanna Stewart cannot play 1 versus 5 on one knee. It can't, we can't do that. We can't do that. So, I just want everyone to understand, everyone who's kind of pointing fingers, throwing blame. These players give it their all day in and day out, and they don't go out there saying, hey, I'm going to do this today. I'm going to stay at the top of the key. I'm going to stay on the low block. No, they're put them in positions to succeed. And Jonquel wasn't put in a position to succeed. So I want you guys to remember that when you get on Twitter and you're getting on your fingers and saying all of this crazy stuff about, JJ had 3 points and so, look at the positions that she was put in. Look at the fact that we are playing a 5-out offense. When you hear 5 out, understand that all 5 of your players are outside. Where do they do that in basketball? Where? I like the innovative play. I love it. It's cool. When it works, it looks great. It looks sexy. But there was something that one of these Hall of Fame coaches said. You might know her. She goes by the name of Pat Summitt. Offense offense sells tickets. Defense wins games, and rebounding wins championships. Okay? Knowing the rebounding battle that the New York Liberty straight up destroyed with that the rebounding hustle, why would you go away from that? Why would you go away from knowing the fact that the New York Liberty are 33-0 when Jonquel Jones has a double-double and you don't put her in positions for her to succeed? Come on. Sim, you're absolutely right. Even when they were 9-0, there were problems with with offense. You're running a 5-out offense, and you're taking away the opportunities for you to offensive rebound. Another thing that Jonquel Jones is really good at. Why can't she get an offensive rebound? Because she's at the top of the key. She's at the 3-point line. You know how hard it is to get a rebound at the 3-point line? Come on. So as I'm speaking about it, I'm getting a little bit more frustrated in knowing that, Sandy kind of went 10 toes down on this 5-out offense. We got to do better. We have to do better. I'm not saying scrap it all the way, because the New York Liberty have players positions who can play more than one position and can do different things. So it can work. It can work from time to time depending on matchups. But this was not it. They've been cooking us all season in the regular season, and then they finished the job in the playoffs. Deliberately, they could have moved up. They deliberately lost games so that they could stay in the position that they are in to face the New York Liberty. They wanted all the smoke. They wanted all. So I say coaching has to be better. It was coaching that made the offseason, the in-season moves that were made for us to get rid of a Jalen Sherrod, for us to acquire a Stephanie Talbot, who has done little to nothing on this roster. And again, I'm not calling her out. I'm just of the mindset that you don't just walk on a roster because your coach knows you. You walk on and you earn your spot. You earn your spot in training camp, just as Jalen Sherrod earned her spot in training camp and won a title. You earn your spot. You have to. So for me, Liberty fans, unfortunately, this is a wrap for our season. We don't know what's going to happen, especially with the implications of a lockout underway. A lockout potentially does look like it's on the way. So we're going to have to brace ourselves. We're going to have to lock into Unrivaled and Athletes Unlimited, and we're going to have to stick with the players. But also as fans, we have to stick with the team. We can't be playing hokey pokey, guys. We can't be playing hokey pokey. So, but when we got it, it's just a game. It's there. We have everything that we need, and we'll see how the Liberty, do in the offseason. If anybody has any questions or comments, let me go through some of this stuff and see what some of y'all are saying. I don't got my glasses on, so it'll be tough for me. The Liberty are getting older, to be honest. Oh, here we go. Damian is back. Damian was a pillar of negativity in 2023. I spoke to Damian about him and his negativity, and he is back. He is back with it. He is back. He's back. They gave him fuel to his fire. He was quiet all 2024 after we got it. Brother, hope all is well with you and your family. Sim City, the 5-out needs to be scrapped next season. I'm with you on. I'm not saying it needs to be fully scrapped, because, like I said, they were player. There's play when you have Stewie running the one or Stewie at the center. We can play 5-out. We can do it. But we can't do it all game. You can't have Jonquil Jones on your team and we can't. Back to the basket. Get her in that low block. Oh, we got some Timeless Torches in here. What's up, Miss Gemines? How you doing? My guy Big 20 is in the chat. Shout out to Torches. Thank you for all you guys have done this season and everything that you're doing. Shout out to your 20 years. I wish on the 20th year we could have been celebrating a back-to-back, but either or, we're still celebrating Timeless Torches and everything that y'all do for the New York Liberty. We love y'all. Let's see what else everybody's saying over here. Nets, on the other hand, maybe top 3 for the 2026 draft. This is funny. Guys, I hope I was able to talk some of you guys off the cliff. I hope that we, kind of are able to just sit down and think about everything and not blame the players. Show love to the players. I really wish I knew when they were coming back to New York. I would set up an opportunity for us fans to go outside of Barclays and welcome them back and cheer them on, because they absolutely deserve it. Everything that they've done. I want you guys to go back to the event that the Liberty held, where we had the opportunity to give the players and the legends their flowers. I implore you guys to give the team their flowers. Continue to give the team their flowers. Give them their flowers. Like, don't stay 10 toes down. Don't switch it up on them just because things went bad. All right. And these are also life lessons. These are life lessons. All right. These are also this is all a game, but within the game, we can find life lessons. We can definitely find life lessons. And although it didn't go our way, we still have opportunities to be better, not just as a team, but also as fans. I'm going to hold us accountable as fans too. We have the opportunity to be better as fans, and that's something that we need to do. Again, I'm going to say game 2, that was not New York Liberty fan basketball. We've been hearing it all season. Sab and the team talking about, oh, that wasn't Liberty basketball. That wasn't Liberty basketball. Fans, we did not play Liberty fan basketball on game 2. I'm going to hold us accountable, including myself. We had to do better. That was our only game on our home floor this season. Deshaun, so NYC, I'm so very hurt, but I'm loyal. I know you loyal. I know you loyal to the soil 10 toes down. I know you're loyal for it. But again, team, we have to do better. We have to do better as a fan base. I know a lot of you guys feel you're being pushed out with the new resurgence of the ticket prices, but we have to remain diligent and see the life lessons in between all of this. And again, if you're just joining the chat, this series, we watched Sandy Brondello coach a Tom Thibodeau-esque style of basketball and did not rely on the bench, was very stubborn and stuck in the ways of this 5-out offense. Unlike Tom Thibodeau, at least she had an offense to run, but the 5-out offense is not it. Is not it when you have a Jonquel Jones and Emma Mieseman. And I'm hurt for Jonquel because Jonquel gives it her all day in and day out. And as one of the forces in this league, for her to, like, it was intentional that she wasn't used. Breanna Stewart, hands down, is the best player on the New York Liberty, but she was not used. She did not use JJ to the best of her ability. Breanna's a Swiss Army knife. She can play a 5-out. She can be in the key. She can start off on top. She can do all of that. But we have to go back to the tangibles, to what we know. After Asia Wilson, in terms of bigs, is Jonquel Jones. And the way that we've been utilizing her on offense, you can't see that. And in return, you have people on X or Twitter talking crazy about the former finals MVP in Jonquel Jones. We can't do that. We cannot do that. We cannot do that. Rafiq, someone on Twitter says, get Jonquel Jones out of New York. I can't disagree anymore, whatever Twitter finger said, because that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. I don't know what era of basketball or life this is in when things get hard, when you lose something and you're like, oh, no, we're just going to get rid of it. We're just going to, oh, no, we're done. We're done. We're going to get rid of it. This was one bad loss. Jonquel Jones is the second best big in this league. The second best big in this league. So why would someone even think remotely of a former 6th player of the year, former most improved player of the year, a Commissioner's Cup MVP. You guys forgot about that. A regular season MVP, a finals MVP. It's super toxic. It's super toxic. Some of the dialogue, it's super toxic. It's very toxic. Some of this dialogue. I think we are prisoners of the moment. Sometimes we get to be prisoners of the moment and say all of these outlandish things about Jonquel Jones. But in all actuality, I would implore you to get your basketball knowledge up. Understand what a 5-out is. Understand what a UCLA offense is, what a Princeton offense is. Understand all of that. Because, again, a 5-out offense is literally what we had Jonquel doing. We had because she wears number 35 does not mean she's KD. Okay, we cannot have her. I know KD's 7 now, but the original, she is not Kevin Durant. So her form might be like it when she shoots from 3, but she is not KD. You cannot have a 6'6" Bohemian double machine on the top of the key shooting threes. You cannot have her playing like she's Karl Anthony Towns, giving her the ball on the top of the key and telling her to make a play with her dribble to get to the paint. You can't do that. You can't do that. You cannot do that. What up, my guy Arden is in the building. Appreciate you. If you haven't, go tap in, follow that man who's doing great things within this WNBA space. Arden, man, this is tough, bro. This is tough. Big part of Liberty offense that needs to change is more players got to be able to attack off the dribble, in my opinion. And I love that. Have to be able to attack off the dribble. That is something that the 5-out offense helps with because you don't congest the paint, right? But when you're telling JJ to attack off the dribble, that's a problem. That's a problem. That's a problem for this team. You have so many people who can do so many different things on this team. Oh yes, please, most done join. We gotta join because I want to hear what you gotta say. My guy John Armwood says we need more creators, and we lost the creator last season in Courtney Vandersloot. Courtney Vandersloot lost her spot, lost her position, and right now we understand how important players like Courtney Vandersloot, how important Kayla Thornton is to this organization. Everything looks good on paper. Everything looks good on paper, but you're not going to win unless you have the others, the second unit, those players who are specialists who just stick to what they know and do what they do at a high level. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to win that way. We can't just rely on 5 stars. Also, Leonie Phoebish, I don't know what happened to Leo this series. I don't know if there was any injuries or anything. I know she had that one where Ka kind of kneed her in the ribs. That was it. But Leo's aggressiveness, Leo's not taking shots. How many shot attempts did Leonie Phoebish have? And we know when Leo had or more shot attempts, the New York Liberty, Leo shot the basketball, guys, 4 times. I mean, we could have gotten her some of KB's looks. Could we not have? Like, what's happening here? So we have to look at this game as a whole and realize the 5-out offense is kind of from your inside, your ability to get in that low block, get in that post, your ability to offensive rebound. Because your bigs are on the top of the key, it's difficult for you to get those second chance opportunities. You're not going to get it. This is simple math. If you're looking at it, this is simple math. So I want you guys, again, who are going crazy and talking crazy about Jonquel Jones, to understand that she's being put in these positions. She's playing the role that she's being told to play. All right, you guys get a chance. I want y'all to go look it up because I'm not making this stuff up. What is the New York Liberty's record when Jonquel Jones records a double-double? You were kind of that, you know what, I'm going to be intentional about getting Jonquel the ball. I'm about featuring her in the offense. You know why? Because when I feature Jonquel, it starts doubles. They start to double. They know they cannot hold her one-on-one in the paint. Doubling Jonquel Jones leaves Leonie Phoebish open. It leaves Sabrina open. It gives other opportunities for players to hit big shots. They didn't have that opportunity. They did not have that opportunity. Let me see how many assists Jonquel was able to. Jonquel had she had 4 assists. She had 4 assists. If Jonquel Jones, I can argue, if Jonquel Jones was featured as she needed to be featured, Jonquel Jones could have pulled the 18 and had triple double. She had 4 assists in that shitty game. She had 4 assists, guys. Jonquel is, again, one of the best bigs to ever play this game. And Sandy Brondello needs to realize that. Sandy Brondello needs to act like that. Sandy Brondello 100% needs to take accountability and responsibility for the way that this team played and the way that this team lost. Not just last night, but throughout the season. Again, it was cute with the 9-0 start. It was cute. But if you go back to all of those interviews, Coach Rondello herself was complaining about this team's effort, about the rebounding, which we were abysmal at this whole season. And then we have an opportunity, game one, where we actually get it together and we go away from that. That sucks, man. That truly sucks. That truly sucks. But I want to hear more of your thoughts. My guy, John Armwood says missing, but also I want y'all to follow Said by Woods, another amazing media professional in this space. Doing great work. Got some really great things coming up. He says missing Benijah was important this season. She can create on her own, and that's you know how many times I was just thinking about B like throughout this season. I've seen her a couple of times after these games, and I just wanted to give her a hug because it's like, yo, we miss you, girl. We miss you and everything that you're able to do. We just didn't have it. We just didn't have it this year. We didn't have everything that we needed to get the job done. We had it. It's just the way that it was utilized. Britt says, I would love for JJ to come back. Me too. I'm 10 toes down on Jonquel Jones because I know what she means to this team, how much she is. And look, JJ crashed out yesterday. We all have it. Sometimes it happens. We have to, like, we all have crash out moments. We have crash out moments at work. We have crash out moments at home. We have crash out. Sometimes you get frustrated. And the way that the refs were reffing the game yesterday, I'm not blaming the referees. I am not blaming the referees at all. I'm not saying that. I'm not blaming the refs. But the whistle was inconsistent. It was up to the New York Liberty. It was up to Coach Sandy Brondello and the New York Liberty to play through the whistle. That was it. And how you do that, your veterans step up, your coaches step up, and you got to calm your team down. You have to have full control of your team. And it felt like Coach didn't have control of the team. All right, so I'm going to get my guy Arden in here real quick. My guy Arden. Again, you already know. If you don't, I want you to tap in and follow Arden. Yo, my guy, what is up?
Hey, we feeling as good as we can, man.
What is up?
Still Liberty Bivity, It's all good though.
It's all good. It's still Liberty Bibbity all day, every day. Arden, talk
Yeah.
to me, man. Talk to me. What's your emotions? And
Man.
what did you think about last night's display? What you think about that?
It was, I was texting with my lady yesterday because we was watching the game together, and of course still texting throughout this going home. And I was just like, hey, it's a tough loss, but it's a well-deserved loss. Like, you got to give Phoenix credit. Phoenix really executed their plan from start to finish, and what they did in game two, we was there. You feel me? Like, that was something I hadn't seen a team do to the Liberty in all of these 3 years of this new era of Liberty basketball. And I just think they did a better job at exploiting mismatches. They did a better job at controlling the pace. They damn sure did a better job at just physicality, just setting the tone immediately. And it felt like at times when the Liberty fought back, you saw what a champion looks like, but they didn't set the tone enough. They didn't maintain the tone enough, and Phoenix was able to do that. And that fourth quarter for Phoenix, especially in the last 5 minutes, just shot making wise, that's gonna be some of the best shot making we've seen all playoffs, yo. Like, they just hitting shots like, damn, like, there's nothing you can do about it. We get within two or
Nothing.
four. Satsu gets a big bucket. Hop gets a big bucket. AT gets a big bucket. Dewana Bonner, love her, Hall of Famer. She gets on my nerves the amount of times we got to see her in the playoffs because she always does this every time. She's
Always.
always a big time shot maker doing this to us, even when we was running the fade with her, when she was in Connecticut. So
In
it's a
Connecticut,
well-deserved
yeah.
loss for the Liberty, man. I think at the end of the day, all great points everyone's been saying. I think when looking ahead to next year, it starts with the mentality. The Liberty got to get back and rediscover that hunger. They got to get back and rediscover what it means to chase. Because when we really think about it, like, high key, the Liberty may be closer to a middle of the pack team next year than a certified top three team in the league. Because you already know Minnesota and Vegas, those two will probably be top two, right? You got to throw in a Phoenix. Phoenix deserves that now. Atlanta, right? If Indiana mess around and makes the finals, so I don't think the Liberty are going to come back next year and be automatically considered a top 3 to top 5 team in the league. So the
Wow,
Liberty
yeah,
now
that
going to have something to prove. That I was thinking this last night. So it's just like, yeah, Cats got to have a lot to prove now, and it starts with that hunger. If you don't have a team full of dogs and people who understand who they are, all this, who should we get, who should we let go, don't matter. It starts with this. It starts with
yep.
this. And the Liberty haven't had this or this for like 3 months.
For 3 months, they lacked mental, they lacked the heart to the heart of a champion. That's what we lacked,
Bro.
most definitely. And first of all, Arden, that take 100%, 100%, 100%, because again, what this team lacked was that mental fortitude, the heart in
Mm-hmm.
order to go on and win. When you go on and you see all the discourse online, who do you blame? Not saying we're playing the blame game, but kind of
Yeah.
for last night's loss to win.
I got to go to the bench. You know, this was supposed to be a bench that's supposed to be among the best in the league, if not the best, at least based off of names alone, and the bench didn't show up. Love Burke, but what happened though? Love Emma, but what happened though? You know, folks didn't play the way they were supposed to play. Stewie delivered it. Sab delivered it. You know, I'm gonna take it easy on JJ. You know, JJ's got a lot on her plate, but like, yo, it's just the rest of the squad did not show up when needed. And for Phoenix, they had people show up. You know, Sammy dropped 13 outside of their big three. They had other players, even if they had
The
4 to 8
others,
points, hit big shots and make big plays. And for the Liberty, that makes a huge difference. And what was it? What, a 6 point loss? Couple shots here and
yeah,
there, a couple more stops here and there. You know, when you was down 2 or 4, keeping it within 2 and 4 instead of having a battle back from being down 8, we waking up a whole different vibe this morning because of that. And you know, and for
100%.
Sandy and the coaching staff, on one hand, I get it. You know, once you stuck with your rotation, you stuck with your rotation. But the beauty of playoff basketball, especially in win all games, is you can switch it up. And I'm a part of the crew that thinks, yo, since we're getting killed on the board, since we need a little more energy, I would have said F it. Yo, Izzy, let's see what we can do with Izzy out there. You know, Izzy throughout the year has stayed ready, and she's never lacked physicality whenever she was on the floor. At the very least, throw Izzy out there. If we need shooting, if we need a spark on offense, if possible, get MJ out there. You know, I
Get
feel like
MJ out
it's
there.
yeah, I feel like it's in those moments when you're looking and you see the fact that like, yo, love Emma. Emma stunk it up this series, and she's
She
getting
did.
exploited on defense. Love Burt. She stunk it up this series, and this is a win all game. These are the times where you got to switch it up. F it. I know
Yeah,
she just came back. Maybe see what Niara could give you. I get it. She
yeah,
just came back. She didn't look good in limited minutes, but she earned her right to play in a win all game for what she did
yep.
last year when we threw
She
her in the
absolutely
fire.
did.
You dig what I'm saying? So for me, I look at it like if those changes could have happened, there could have been a difference last night for the Liberty. And of
Yeah,
course, if JJ makes a
100%.
couple more shots instead of going 1 for 10.
1 for 10, and 5 of those 10 shots were 3 pointers. At that goes to show you a lot. Um,
Bro.
hold on, we got another guest in here. My bad, my daughter Kennedy wants to
Yay!
say hi,
Hi!
Arden.
Hey, what's up? What's up?
Yeah, so it's tough. It's tough to kind of bounce back from that. But again, I
Yeah.
think the way that the coaches utilized John Paul Jones, the way that the coaches didn't rely on that bench, because as you said, Izzy needed some time. I know I'm in that blowout loss. Izzy and MJ came in the game. They had some spots where they also look good. You have to take everything that you can, because the others are what's going to get you to that next level, and that's what we saw from Phoenix. You just said it. Natasha Mack, I'm played some big minutes.
Yes.
Sammy Whitcomb, that
Yes,
Dewana Bonner
bro.
bouncing, that little Tyrese Halliburton esque bounce that she
Yeah.
had, that was tough, because the
Facts.
Liberty were down by, I believe, 1 or 3 at that point,
Yep.
and that was one of the daggers of the game. So
Yep. And
I think that was.
turnovers. Turnovers for this whole series killed the Liberty. Right? Just untimely turnovers too. It's like you can't have a turnover. We're down 3, got the charge, and you turn it over right there. Or again, just throughout these certain moments of the game where it's like, yo, we're within 2, we're within 4, we're trying to make a run. Why are we suddenly turning over the ball? Not
What is
now.
what's your thoughts on Leonie Febish? Because Leonie Febish, like she's known as our X Factor,
Yeah,
a wild card. She's an X Factor, but she only
yeah,
took 4 shots. She hasn't been aggressive at all this whole series. What are your
yeah.
thoughts on Leo? Like, what's up with that?
I love Fevic. I feel like this year in particular showed that I think a lot of us, including myself, I think we overrated her a little bit. I think, because of the moment she had last year, we were really expecting a bigger jump. And I think in reality, Leo is meant to help out in the way she were last year, which is like behind a Benija, you come off the bench and you provide some of that timely shooting and defense. But that's not meant for you to have to come in full time and be this type of player, because when she got to be a full time starter, we know her defense is incredible. But then when we put the pressure on to be like, all right, Feed, we need 15 tonight, we need 20 tonight, something loses out. And for me, as I was watching her throughout the series, especially last night, especially after she got initially injured at the beginning of the game, I was like, yeah, we need Benija back. Like we need Benija back. We need someone who is a more natural two-way player who understands that role, so that Leo can
Yeah,
go back to the bench. Maybe it's a time for Leo to be the sixth player on the team. I think she could be a great sixth player on his team. But it's just been
yeah.
something that we've seen all year, where it's like in certain spots, it's tough for her to thrive because she's asked to do a lot more than what she did. It's game one, she hit that timely shot, had over 10 to 13. But then again, we saw the inconsistency in games 2 and 3, and she could often be forgotten about on offense.
Oh, 100%, 100%. And Leo, definitely, last year she was somebody who was in the running for sixth player of the year.
Yeah.
I strongly agree with you that she is better off on the bench. Last year, she was inserted in the starting lineup for the entire playoffs, but the
Yep.
difference is that Sabrina Ionescu moved to that one position, and she was the
Yep.
predominant ball handler. Now, in this situation, you have Natasha Cloud, who, is on and off, she on and off with the offense, but she's a
Yep.
great defender. Do
Yep.
you think that kind of takes away from them a little bit, having Natasha Cloud and Sabrina Ionescu playing out there at the same time?
Yeah. I believe so, especially if neither of them are going to be aggressive. And I think that's something with the Liberty offense that next year, I think if they have a change next year on offense, it has to be more about your ball handlers have to be more aggressive. Like I know the Liberty have this 5 out offense. I know they move the ball well, but it feels very redundant to see a team consistently rely on sets and set actions to get looks. It's 2025 basketball, all right? Shot makers got to be shot makers. People got to attack and do what they could do off of pick and rolls, off of spacing. Like that's one of the main reasons why you're supposed to have a 5 out. Is because ultimately you're supposed to create these lanes to attack the basket and kick out or create
Yeah,
disadvantages. And I think that was a big reason why New York's offense got totally discombobulated by Phoenix. While Sab or Natasha's up top dribbling the rock, waiting for the play to develop, Phoenix is throwing unexpected double teams. Phoenix got people all up in their face, right? Like you said
yeah,
very well, bro. We got motherfucking JJ trying to handle the rock and do dribble handoffs or try to attack and do a drop off.
not
This is
gonna cut it.
2025. It's not working like that no more. Keep the 5 out, keep the motion, but A, more people got to be aggressive with attacking the basket. And B, there needs to be more post up action.
Hold on a
That's
second.
where JJ can work. That's where Stewie can work. It just has to be quicker. We need quicker
Yes.
actions and people to be able to be aggressive.
Okay, yeah, 100%, 100%. And I have PTSD because as a big Knicks fan, I have PTSD because I watched Coach Sandy Brondello and the similarities of Sandy's coaching with Tom
Mm-hmm.
Thibodeau's coaching. Just kind of kind of sticking to your guns and being stubborn, not relying on your bench and everything like that. I still have PTSD. Again, I'm
Bro,
not calling for Coach Sandy Brondello's job, but I'm calling
absolutely
for her
not.
to to take accountability in the way that this team played through.
You just get up to
Shout out to Hoops
speed.
in the Sun. I see y'all tapped in.
Yeah, shout out to the guys, Randy and Joe and the fam. Like
Randy,
it's
shout yeah.
It's
I
just a
see
matter
ya.
of like, it's just a matter of like, you got to get with the times. Like Atlanta's offense is incredibly successful because of how much they utilize their spacing and how they allow Alicia and Ryan to be aggressive, right? Like Phoenix, right? Phoenix, they play a very similar spread out offense, but yo, they understand shot makers got to be creative. You got to get downhill. That puts so much pressure on your team, right? Push the pace. And I just think that has to change next year. That has to change next year. In 2026, yo, more tempo, be more aggressive. Let's let it fly. Quicker actions.
And then my last comment as a New Yorker, what was embarrassing to me as a New Yorker is the physicality. Like we
Oh my
physical, like
God.
we you know the toughness, the grittiness of New
Oh
York
my
City.
God, bro.
That was not the physicality. Just watching them get run through the way they got run through. It wasn't it. I know that the whistle was inconsistent last night,
It was.
but we needed better physical in New York, Libby. From a New York team that's supposed to have grit, toughness. You know what the city's like. So let's talk about that real quick, Arden.
Bro, it's the lack of physicality throughout the series was embarrassing. But again, right, it's something
Let's
that
talk
goes
about
back to
you.
the regular season. You know, like this was a team that even in some of those wins that they've had throughout the second half of the year, they weren't physical enough. You know, they weren't physical enough. Or it took them getting punched in the mouth to then be like, oh, let's be physical. It's like, no, you're supposed to set the tone immediately. This team was one of the biggest teams across the league. One of the biggest teams across the league, one of the most experienced across the league. If anyone's supposed to know how to be physical, it's supposed to be y'all.
It's
Like
supposed to be yes.
y'all have that advantage. And it's like, bro, y'all keep letting people get in your face and be aggressive and disrupt your actions and set the tone early. And it's like you can't do that. You can't do that. That's why I want next year for this team to play with a greater sense of urgency, be more aggressive, be quicker to attack. And let me say this too, and I don't know if people have said this about Stewie. I love Stewie. Stewie, hell of a performance last night. But I need Stewie. I'm gonna use your lovely platform, my brother. I'm gonna use this to lay out a friendly challenge to Stewie to remember who you are. To remember who you are. What you I feel like Mike Lyer from Bad Boys. When I was watching Stewie do what she did in the full court, I'm like, that's how you shoot.
That's
That's
who
how
you
you
are.
play.
That's who
You
you
could
are.
literally, you could literally do this every night, and I get it. So many people be like, well, you know, Stewie got to play both sides of the ball. She does all this and that and the third. Whoop de doo. Alicia,
Whoop-de-doo.
Asia Wilson got to play both sides of the ball. Alyssa Thomas got to play both sides of the ball. PE got to play
Absolutely.
both sides of the ball. Whoop de doo. Everybody got to play both sides of the ball and still be
Both sides of the
dominant
ball,
on
yeah.
offense, bro. And it's like if there's anything that I have to say about Stewie, and again, I love Stewie. I'm happy as hell that she said she'll be back. We want her back. I want her to finish the
We
rest of her
want her back,
career
yeah.
in New York. But she gotta be the one, man. It can't
She
take
has to.
her dropping 30, dropping 40 when we down. It feels like that's
On one leg.
on one leg. And it's like, it feels
Nah,
like
we
she
need it from
hasn't
the
been that.
start.
Yes, it feels like we haven't had that type of Stewie since her first season. When her first season in New
Since
York, she was on all gas, no brakes. And what happened? MVP.
the aggressor. The
You
aggressor.
gotta be
And
the
she was
aggressor.
the alpha dog, and that's what we need from Brianna
When
Stewart to be the
she
alpha
plays
and
like
show
she
them the
knows
way.
she's the one, she's literally one of the gods of the game. When she plays like that. When
Oh,
she plays like
absolutely.
that and goes, yo, I'm on kill mode, we need to win. Yes, that's how you shoot.
Arden, you got
You got to do that all the
you have
time, bro.
no argument for me. Yeah. No rebuttal because you went to the last point that I wanted to make before I got off is we need somebody to lead this team. There's so many different voices in the locker room. There's so many different people. Everybody's like, okay, they're kind of selfless, but we need one alpha who's going to be an alpha, and that's
Got to have
Brianna
the
Stewart.
leader. Got to have the leader, a
Sabrina
woman.
Ionescu talks about how much she looks up to Brianna Stewart. These are the moments where we need Brianna Stewart to be who Brianna Stewart is. And it was a little bit too late last night. She scored all 14 points in the fourth quarter by herself. But she has to start from the beginning. She has to
You
start from the
got to
very
start from the
beginning.
beginning. It reminds me of even last season, right? What sort of kicked off Stewie's run during the postseason. Remember when Minnesota went into Barclays and put Belt and the Liberty was down 20, 25, and what happened? That woke up Stewie and she finished with 38 It's like, dog, you can do this every
You
game if
can
you
do
wanted
this.
to, bro. You could do this every game if you wanted to. Like, do it. Everybody's
Do
gonna
it.
find their way. Sab is gonna find her way. JJ's gonna find her way. Everybody on the team is capable of finding their way. But it starts with you. And it's frustrating because it's like, yo, 22 in Vegas is not taking a backseat to nobody. She's all
Not
gas,
taking no
no
backseat.
brakes every night. B is all gas, no brakes every night. AT's all gas, no brakes every night. This is the state of the league. Our alpha has to be the alpha every game. Now when it's a win all take all, now when we get smacked by 20, you gotta set the tone, bro. You set the tone, everyone follows. This is just the new age WNBA. I love her two-way
Absolutely.
ability. The 18, 6, and 5 stat lines is cute. I need 30 balls on a nightly basis,
I
bro.
need
Sorry.
30. I need
We need
25
30,
plus.
bro. And what's crazy is I remember, not to name drop or whatever, I remember I went to a workout with Stewie after they lost to Vegas, right? And I remember I had a chance to chop it up with her and everything. And I've had the privilege of interviewing her. And I remember looking at Stewie and be like, yo, Stewie, you know you should have taken that shot, right? You know you should have been more aggressive, right? And she's like, I know. Like, I should have did that. Like, so she knows this about herself where it's like, yo, as dynamic as you are, as great as you are, you're not dominant enough. And Stewie has to
Oh,
be dominant. It's that time. Be dominant. And we
yeah,
can go
be
from there.
dominant. Be dominant. Be dominant. And you know, I have nothing to say to that because it's like, yo, you hit it right on the nose. You have to be dominant. You have to be the aggressor. You have to be the alpha. You cannot rely on you know, on Sabrina and JJ to be those ones.
Can't, bro.
You have to lead that. You have to lead that 100%. So Arden, I agree with you 10,000% on that one. Look,
Bro.
I gotta jump off in a second, because you
Yeah.
know this is the reason why I haven't been doing that many lives this season. I'm
Hey.
in full dad mode. I'm locked in. We about
Yeah.
to before I want you to go highlight something that you're doing. I want to highlight your I
Yeah.
want you to got going for the W.
Yeah, man. No, I appreciate you, bro. For real. Always great chopping it up with you, man. You did an incredible job with your coverage this year, bro. I love what you've been doing, man. Y'all can
Thank you,
check me
brother.
out at Is That Arden. That's where you find everything from me, from the content, from the events, from the agency work. Of course, I got my own platform called Dunkyard. Check that out. We just hit over 100K on social, where we cover all three
Let's
levels of
go.
basketball, especially with the W content. Shout out to everyone that was showing love to the W content. And yeah, man, this was my nice season covering the W. Next
Let's
year, number
go.
10. Number
Let's
10.
go. We going for
So
10
I'm
years. That's
excited.
dope, man.
Yeah, let's
That's
get it. I
dope.
appreciate you, Brody.
This is year 3 for me. Year 2 officially as a credentialed media person. So
Let's
it was a
go.
great one. And definitely love sharing the space with you and all of
Hell
the
yeah, vice
amazing
versa.
media people out there. So thank you for everything. And again, fans, if you are on this live, please do go tap in. Go tap in with my guy Arden. Go tap in with my guy John Armwood, said by Woods. Go tap in with Rafiq. Go tap in with these guys. These guys are doing amazing things for not just the New York Liberty, but the WNBA space. And it is what it is. We got next year, but Arden, you know what we say. We all we got.
We all we need.
Yeah, you
We
already
all
know,
we
man. I
need, brother.
appreciate you. I have a live o'clock with my guy Alfred Corriette. And it's gonna be dope, man. So I appreciate all of you guys for taking the time. And love you, Liberty fans. I love you guys. I love you guys. Kennedy loves you guys too. You wanna say bye? Bye. We all we got. We all we need. Don't you forget that. We all we got. We all we need. Let's go, Liberty. Peace.